from the Ticats Audio Network. This is Ticats Today with Louie.
Yes, it is Ticats Today for a Tuesday, November the 15th, 2022. Grey Cup week is here. We're in Regina, Saskatchewan on Sunday. The Toronto Argonauts will be trying to prevent the Winnipeg Blue Bombers from taking home a third straight Grey Cup. And we'll bring you all the news from Grey Cup week throughout the week here on Ticats Today. But today, we're going to stick with Ticats because we've got quite a bit of news to pass along your way for a team that is a week and a half removed from their season ending in the semifinals of the Alouettes, who lost to Toronto, by the way, in case you didn't know that yet. Hopefully you did. But there was quite a bit of Ticats news that has come out in the last 24 hours, so we thought we'd check back with that before we move on to Grey Cup stuff later on this week on the show. And another reason is because everyone was traveling today. Everyone you thought who talks CFL was traveling today. So they're getting set. They're on their way, and hopefully they have a lot of fun. And again, we'll bring you updates from Saskatchewan throughout the week here on this program. And of course, we still have other shows for you here on the Ticats Audio Network, including a brand new episode of the CFL This Week with Bubba O'Neill. You can catch that. I believe he talks to Matt Cause and Morley Scott this week's episode. So wherever you found this show, you can find that one as well. To the Ticats news. Well, yesterday, the Ticats announced that they acquired the rights to quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell from the Calgary Stampeders in exchange for a third-round pick in 2023, a fifth-round pick in 2024, and future considerations. Bo Levi Mitchell doesn't really need his resume read out, but I'm going to do it anyway. He played 165 games over 10 seasons with the Stamps, where he completed 65% of his passes for 32,541 yards, 188 touchdowns. He's a native of Katy, Texas. He dressed in all 18 games, including 9 starts for the Stamps this season, where he threw 61%, 2010 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. He is a 2-time Grey Cup champion, a 2-time Grey Cup MVP, a 2-time CFL Most Outstanding Player, a 2-time CFL All-Star, and a 3-time Division All-Star. He's also the CFL's active leader with passing yards and 15th all-time in the category. We had a chance to catch up with Coach O yesterday on the news. We'll play what he had to say, a little bit of a summary of what he had to say to the assembled media who were on the call yesterday. That's coming up later on in the show. All right, that's the one big piece of news. The other big piece of news that came out today was that the Ticats had 3 players named to the CFL All-Star team, including Tim White, Brandon Revenberg, and Kam Kelly. For Tim White, it is his first career CFL All-Star selection after being named an East Division All-Star for the second consecutive season. We know Tim's stats by now: 94 catches, 1,265 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He was also the team's nominee for Most Outstanding Player. Brandon Revenberg, it is his 4th straight CFL All-Star nomination after his 4th straight CFL East Division All-Star selection. And Kam Kelly had a great year. He started all 18 regular season games and 1 playoff game at Sam for the Ticats. He had a team-leading 5 interceptions with 50 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback sacks, and 5 pass knockdowns, and his 5 picks were tied for second in the CFL. We're going to hear from Kam Kelly in just a second, as I had a chance to catch up with him today. But before that, let's get to the earlier news, and that is the acquisition of the rights to Bo Levi Mitchell, who is set to become a free agent come February, or come the beginning of the year when free agency opens. But we had a chance to catch up with the Ticats President of Football Operations and head coach, Orlando Steinauer. And with the first question I asked, the timing of this all and how it all came together.
Well, I think first and foremost, since the day that we've been eliminated, Louie, we're looking to get better. Now, we weren't good enough this year, and you don't know what opportunities are going to arise as you're trying to better your football team while you're trying to get your own free agents re-signed, ones that you have targeted. We felt that this move has the opportunity to make us better. And so at this point in time, we've been successful in acquiring the right to speak with Bo. And that's the timing's right because we've already turned the page on 2022. I think Expedited just because ours did end earlier than we anticipated. It's really that simple. And there's no sense in waiting. We've had lots of meetings, personnel-wise, and even above that, about trying to get better. And that's where we're at today, there, Louie. So we're not acquiring the rights without a confidence factor that we could get this done. However, we do understand that there is the chance that doesn't happen, Rick. We have met extensively about this, and the value of communicating a couple of months early, we felt outweighed the compensation that we may have to give up in the unlikely event that we aren't able to sign Bo. But rather than wait until the legal tampering, if you will, week, this was just the timing was right for us. Yeah, right now, Dane's our quarterback. Again, all we've done is acquire the rights, Rick, to negotiate with Bo. And so I think our quarterback room has been strong in the past. I think we've proven that with the Jeremiah and Dane thing. But right now, Dane's a Hamilton Tiger Cat, and Dane's done a lot of great things for this organization. Yeah, no, I respect both Dane and I respect Bo, and I can just assure you that both we have had a conversation with both of them today, and leave it at that for now. Yeah. When you play the game the way that Bo plays the game, and you've done it for 10 years in one spot, there's definitely some times you're going to take some hits and be injured. We're satisfied that they were just regular football things. There was nothing long term there. So concern, not really, not at all. Yeah. Like he's a Hall of Fame quarterback with a very high winning percentage. And those are really the things we were focused on. And then when it comes to when it comes to Dane, yeah, well aware of that. But Dane plays the game reckless, and he plays to win. Yeah, Dane would be the one to ask there. To sit there and think that Dane would be super excited about news like this, that would be misleading. Dane's a competitor. He's never backed down from competition. Be it Jeremiah or him when it was an open competition there before. He's always put his best foot forward. And so Dane very well view this as a challenge. But again, Bo isn't signed right now. Well, I think that the main thing is that the throws that we did see, don't know what he was being asked to do, the reasons why he didn't continue to be the main guy in Calgary. We didn't try to figure out. What we did do is turn on the tape and watch him throw the football around and feel like he still can make all the throws on the field. And then when you add certain things like he's a champion, he's been there before, he's won big games, he's done it with various different receivers and that sort of thing. Know he's been well coached in that organization. Just feel like, I feel like he has a lot of gas left in the tank. And when we turn on the tape and we watch that, that's something that we all felt collectively was pretty much a no-brainer. Well, there's one thing is just the experience. I think there's a guy who's been there before, ultra competitive. And I'll say this, I just was really impressed from a distance. I obviously wasn't there on the inside out, but very impressed with how he handled the adversity. I mean, he's been the guy there for a long time and took him to the promised land. And to have that taken from you, there's a couple of routes you can go with that. You can blame and do all sorts of things and make it about yourself. And I didn't get that sense from him. I think there's a competitive side that you saw and that sort of thing. He doesn't view himself as that. And I don't think there's anything. I think that's healthy. And so I think that he's going to bring a lot of things outside the analytics and the statistics to an organization. And obviously we're one of those teams that are looking to possibly capitalize on that.
And that is the head coach and president of football operations, Orlando Steinauer, talking about the acquisition of the rights to Bo Levi Mitchell that happened back on Monday. And I will put this out there. Danny Austin tweeted out a quote from Barn Burner with Boomer and Pinder. Barn Burner with Boomer and Pinder. It's a show out in Calgary. Bo Levi Mitchell was on the show, and he had this to say, quote, "I want to hear their pitch and what's going on there, but what I said 2 days ago before the West Final is I want to go into free agency. I want to find out what the offers are. I want to find out where the coaches are going to end up. I want to find out where some players are going to end up and who is even going to make it to free agency as a player. At this point in my career, I'm not going to fight over a certain amount of money with a different team. It's more to me. I want to build on the legacy I've started." That's a quote from Danny Austin, attributed to Bo Levi Mitchell. Vice versa, excuse me. That's a quote from Bo Levi Mitchell attributed to Danny Austin, who quoted it from the Barn Burner with Boomer and Pinder. So just putting that out there for you. Anyway, let's hear from Kam Kelly. Had a chance to catch up with him, and I'm going to post the full interview at Ticats.ca because he's got his little daughter on his lap, and she's adorable, and it's worth checking out. But I had a chance to catch up with Kam, and we started off by talking about just that, getting to share those moments with his daughter and kind of the bittersweet part of the season being over.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, our goal is obviously to get to and win the championship, but when the season ends early and I get to come back home and, spend time with my lady and my little girl, man, it makes everything all right.
Yeah. And to that point, another consolation, being named a league All-Star in just your second year in the CFL. What does that mean to you?
I'm excited for it. I think it's a great accolade, a great accomplishment. I give God all the glory. I just, worked my butt off. I thank my coaches, my teammates, they had my back all last year, all this year, just helped me just grow as a man and as a player. And I also owe a lot of everything to her. She was my motivation this year. Her and my lady, they kept me going, kept me on the straight path. So, and my parents, they've been really my support system. I couldn't have done any of it without them.
And I know your coaches, your teammates, and I think a couple of people were surprised. I was definitely surprised not to see Jovan Santos Knox named a league All-Star alongside you. But yeah. I have to think your teammates also push you to be better, and you don't get to this point without the guys around you.
Most definitely. I mean, we're real big on family. Those guys are more than just my teammates. Those guys are my brothers. They spend some time with Kinsley as well. They call her, their niece, so we go, it's way deeper than just the game of football, so we all know in that locker room what type of player Jovan is and, the high caliber player that he was and what he brought to our team. We felt like he was the heart and soul of our defense, to be honest, so it is a little strange to see him not be, a CFL All-Star, but I know what type of guy he is. I know his work ethic, and I know it's just going to fuel him for next year.
Now, you mentioned how you changed as a player from year one to year two. Where did you see those changes happen the most? Where were you feeling the most comfortable in your second year in the CFL?
Really, it was kind of more just my understanding of the game and I guess my positioning as far as, I feel like my first year, I knew a bit, but I was really just playing off of talent and just kind of knowing the game of football. I didn't really know the CFL game, so I feel like I didn't help my teammates as much as I did last year. This year I felt like because I understood the game better, I took a lot of slack off of some of my other teammates, and I let them know that we don't have to try and force you to come do this. If they motion to this, I can just play your position. You go down, play mine. I feel like us becoming interchangeable and learning the defense is just X's and O's really, opened up a lot for not just myself, but for our team.
Now, the best part I love about practices is right at the beginning after warmups, we see team versus team. The A-team defense going against the A-team defense. And another All-Star on this club was Tim White. How did the receivers on this group and those sessions make you a better player out there?
I mean, we love to compete, man. Guys like Tim, Steven, all of our receivers, bro, I could go from the top of the list all the way down to the bottom. You know, we compete every day, and that's something that Coach O stressed in our team meetings. It's something that, you know, even if he didn't stress it, I just felt like the competitive nature of our guys, you know, just wanting to get better and wanting to win and understanding what it took to win. We were going to come out ready to work every single day. And, you know, guys, like you got to be ready when you're going up against Tim, you know, because he's got world-class speed. So, you know, you got to make sure you stretch before practice. You go out there, pull a hamstring trying to run with him. So.
What's your offseason going to look like? I mean, obviously you're going to have some tough decisions to make, and you're a very talented player. You've showcased that. I'm sure people are going to be giving you a call once free agency opens up, but what does this next few months look like for you?
Really just try and hit the reset button. Just continue my walk with God, continue to be the best son, father, and boyfriend I can be, you know, and just try and focus on that, knowing that, you know, in a couple of weeks when I start training back again and start, you know, getting ready to get my body ready for the next season, that if I just handle those first 3 things, that everything else will just take care of itself. So really, I just want to spend as much time with my family as possible.
And that's a great way to spend an off season. Cam, always appreciate catching up with you during the season, and I appreciate you doing this. And once again, congrats on the All-Star being named an All-Star. It's awesome, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you. It's about time for nap time. She's getting cranky.
And that is Kam Kelly, who is a CFL All-Star for the first time in his career. All right, that'll do it for us today, and we are back tomorrow here on Ticats Today. Thanks for checking us out. From all of us here at the Ticats Audio Network, I'm Louie. Hope you have a great day.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.